Hey guys, so today I'm releasing a full Glacor guide. This will teach you how to kill Glacors effectively in the evolution of combat. However, bearing in mind that the evolution of combat is not long released, so new techniques may be found in the future. However, this will give you a very good idea of how to start killing them, and for now is, as far as I know, the best method for killing them. So moving on to the contents page, we have all the sections that we are going to cover on Glacors here, and if you click the link on screen, it will take you directly to that section. Firstly, we will talk about how to get there. The best method that I know to get to Glacors is to own this ring, the Tuckle Zoo. You gain this after completing the quest of Elder Kiln. You can simply teleport to the fight caves, which is option 3 on the teleport, and simply use this fairy ring here. However, any other fairy ring can be used, but in particular the one in Edgeville is reasonably close to a bank and easy to get to. You want to use the code DKQ, however if you have it on your travel log you can simply click it and click teleport to teleport very fast. And it will teleport you before the rings fully finish rotating, and you'll teleport to the Glacor area. This section will cover the Glacor's attacks. This is so that you know what you're looking out for while fighting the Glacor, as there are certain special moves the Glacor has which you must be on the lookout for. Firstly, the range attack of the Glacor. This is a little ice shard shot out of its right hand. As you can clearly see on the screen, it is followed by a smoke trail and is easy to identify. Just because I'm playing range doesn't necessarily mean this is how you will take on the Glacor, as you will see in the later sections. Now this is the triple range attack. It can only use this while it is in the ranged mode, and as you can see, if you do not move the spot that it is going to land, you will get hit for approximately 33% of your life points. This used to be 50% in the old system. As I said, to avoid the attack, you just want to click away, walk one spot away, as many as you like, but one spot is easier, and you will avoid all the damage. Now moving on to the magic attack, this is in the form of a blue sphere, and this is shot out with its left hand, and it's easy to see again. The Glacor also has a melee attack, however as you will be killing at distance, this is not really too important. However, being inverse would actually give you good defense against the melee attack. However, there is one main reason why you want to avoid being in melee distance, as you will see in 1 second. So being next to the Glacor in melee distance, it randomly has a chance to do this to you. You will become a big ice cube and you want to spam click away to break out of the ice cube before the Glacor does you some big damage. Now moving on to the Glacite section. When killing the Glacor and it reaches half health, it will summon 3 minions. An enduring Glacite, a sapping Glacite, and an unstable Glacite. These must be killed before the Glacor can be dealt with, as any damage on the Glacor will be negated until these are killed. Each has a special ability, and the Glacor will inherit this special ability if the Glacite is killed last. I will talk more about this now. Firstly, this is the enduring Glacite. It is stark blue and has a slight transparency to it. When all the 3 Glacites are summoned, this one will sit next to the Glacor and not come towards you to melee you, unlike the other 2 Glacites. So what you will want to do is lure it towards you by attacking it, so that it does not sit next to the Glacor. The reason you want to do this is the damage you do to this Glacite is proportional to how far it is away from the Glacor. If this minion is killed last, the Glacor will inherit a similar ability in the fact that all damage on the Glacor will be reduced by approximately 60% for the second half of the kill, which can dramatically slow the kill down. I will demonstrate simply how to do this later in the video when I demonstrate killing a Glacor. This is the sapping Glacite. This minion is clearly distinguishable with a bright blue colour, and you should be able to easily tell it apart from the other minion. This minion's special ability is to drain your prayer. Every time it melees you, it will drain your prayer slightly, but not too much that you can't handle it, as it will be dispatched with very quickly, as shown later. If this one is killed last, the Glacor will inherit the exact same ability and will do damage to you with every single hit it does on you. Lastly, this is the unstable Glacite, which is a completely different colour and is bright red, and that is important as you definitely want to keep your eye on this one. This one can be very dangerous, and if you're going to die at Glacors, it's likely going to be between this and the triple range attack that the Glacor does. Both these attacks in unison can cause a lot of damage to you. When this explodes, which is its special ability, it will do a % damage to you, as I'll show you in a clip in a second. It has a bar above its head which fills up over time, and when it reaches full, it will explode, and this is when you want to move away from it. You want to be at least 2 squares away, otherwise you will be damaged by this. I will show you in the video now. So now the Glacor has reached half HP, it will summon its 3 minions, as you can see. The enduring Glacite sit next to the Glacor until I attack it and lure it over, as I mentioned previously. However, I will not be killing them here, and I will demonstrate that later in the video. So the unstable Glacite has a bar above its head in orange and blue, and it slowly fills up. When it fills up, it will explode and do about 33% of your HP and damage. Its HP will be really low, and you generally can one-hit it then. Now moving on to the equipment section. This section will demonstrate what gear you want to take to kill the Glacor, as it is very important, as if you take the wrong gear, you're going to get owned. Now for your gear. The optimum gear setup will include ranged items. Now this is because they will not reduce your damage output, as with the new system, only your shield, body and legs will reduce your damage if you use the wrong type from the combat triangle. Now, for the rest of your gear, you want to maximize damage output, and obviously your defense at the same time. So Virtus would be the best in these two slots, however Robes of Subjugation would be second best, and thirdly Ganodermic Robes. Obviously Robes of Subjugation do not degrade, so these might be the cheaper alternative to Virtus if you can't afford Virtus in the first place. For your ring, you would want the Seer's Ring Eye would be the best, with the highest magic critical percentage. This will increase your chances of doing a critical hit, which is a big increase in damage for that hit. For your necklace, you would want the Arcane Stream necklace. However, if you do not have this, the Saradomin's Hiss would be second best, and for your ring, just the regular Seer's Ring Eye. For your staff or weapon, you want a Chaotic Staff or a Virtus Wand and Virtus Book. The Yank could also be used, however, I expect this will be completely nerfed soon. So the Chaotic Staff is obviously a lot cheaper. The Virtus Wand and Virtus Book will be slightly faster in terms of killing the Glacites, as they have a fast damage rate. However, overall they will do an average damage output of exactly the same. For your cape, a completionist cape would be best. Secondly, a max cape, and thirdly, one of the god capes from Mage Arena, such as the Saradomin cape or the Zamorak cape. These all have a magic crit percentage and will increase your chances of doing a critical hit. As you can see here, overall I have 10.9%. For your aura, Vampirism or Penance would be great. Penance would obviously reduce the need for prayer pots, and it does so at a tremendous rate, and Vampirism will reduce the need for soul split and healing. So your range items, the best would be Glaven Boots, Pernix Gloves, and Pernix Cowl. The reason you want range items here is to maximize your magic and range defense, as the main attacks the Glacor uses are magic and ranged. Melee is not so important, as you'll be stunning at a distance. Obviously, these are not necessarily affordable, so lower range items can be used, but this is what you want to maximize. So you can look into the items yourself if you want to get a full, perfect setup. As for spell, you want to be using Fire Surge, as Glacors are weak to Fire Surge, or all fire spells in general. However, if you do not have Fire Surge, the second best spell would obviously be the lower fire spells. I will move into the inventory later when I demonstrate killing the Glacors. Now for killing Glacors with abilities. Killing with abilities will kill the Glacors at a much faster rate and will remove the need for food, as Soul Split will completely cover you, as you are obviously doing a lot more damage per second. Using abilities is obviously a lot more attentive and can get a bit boring after a while, as you need to constantly stay attention. While using momentum, you can AFK and chat to friends, while you might find that quite difficult with abilities. Using abilities is a much more high level sort of thing, and I recommend learning Glacors first on momentum, and once you're used to Glacors, you can move on to abilities. Now for killing with abilities, this is the action bot I recommend. I have pretty much all the magic abilities on here apart from the useless ones, such as Surge, as you do not want to be jumping forward, Detonate, which is just in general not a very good ability, and everything else is on here. Now I also have Freedom. Now if the Glacor uses its magic attack and hits, it has a chance of stunning you to the spot, and if you use this you will instantly become unstunned. I also have Anticipation, as you can reduce damage every so often using this, and anything that helps boost your bar will obviously help to get to your higher abilities faster. So I have all my magic abilities here in order from basic to ultimate, and then finally I have Momentum in case I want to switch to Momentum. It's right there ready for me. As for my invent, I take a few overloads and a few prayer renewals, as this will reduce your prayer usage, and obviously overloads will increase your damage output. I have one brew for emergencies, and although you shouldn't really need food while using this method. The rest of your invent should be prayer pots. Apart from your runes for Fire Surge, I have scrolls for my familiar. I will talk more about familiars later, however I like to use Steel Titan. And at the top of my invent I have some drops that Glacors commonly drop, as you want to be able to pick them up, as it might take you a while to use an overload or a prayer potion. Water talismans are obviously worth quite a lot, so that's why I have them there. Shards of Armadillo are dropped 1 in 10, are definitely a drop you want to pick up, and I also have Crimson and Blue Charms ready to pick up, as these are generally dropped almost every kill. So now starting a kill, you want to make sure you've got quick curses on Soul Split and Torment. If you're on Prayers, you want to Pray Range and Augury. So basically during the kill you want to use your abilities as fast as you can. However, you do not want to use Q. As you can see on Q on my screen is Dragon Breath, and this only works in melee distance. Other good abilities to use are Asphyxiate, which I have on E, which is the picture of someone getting strangled, and you want to make sure you don't waste this attack by using another ability straight after. If you use another ability straight after, it will cancel the Asphyxiate. Anything else for that matter, drinking a potion will also cancel it, and this will, if you do not cancel it, it will do huge damage to the Glacor. When the Glacors are summoned, as you've seen, I attacked the Enduring Glacite. I also moved back to make sure I was further away and set my Titan on the Sapping minion. I will talk more about Titan later. So as you can see, I finish off the Sapping and then finally finish off the Unstable. You want to kill the Unstable last, as this is the least powerful ability the Glacor can attain. However, it will heal if you don't kill it fast enough. However, using abilities, unless you really do get unlucky and hit bad, you really should destroy it a long time before then. Using Asphyxia on the second form can very nearly one-hit it. The same with the first half. As you can see, I destroyed that form very quickly. However, I also used the ultimate Metamorphosis, which meant I did an increased amount of damage. Here is another kill. So you can watch again with me killing the Glacites, which is probably the most important part of the kill to getting a fast kill. Steel Titan will really increase the speed, however a Unicorn is needed if you are using Prayers, and I will talk more about Familiars later. So as you can see, attack the Enduring minion, lure it further away, set my Titan on the Sapping if I am using Titan, otherwise just continue attacking the Enduring. And this is where you can actually use Dragon Breath, the ability. As you were in melee distance when killing the Glacites, you can use this ability. However, on the Glacor you cannot. As you can see, there we go. Not that it was needed, because the Unstable was obviously one hit from death after just exploding. So pretty much it is kind of like spamming abilities. You want to be too careful. You don't want to be too, you want to be a bit careful because you don't want to use abilities to interrupt Asphyxiate, and obviously you want to use your defensive ability as much as you can really to reduce the amount of damage you take. Now for killing Glacors with Momentum. Using Momentum is slightly more slow than using abilities, and it will reduce your kills per hour slightly. It is not too much, however using Momentum will give you the ability to AFK and chat to friends, and just have a more relaxing experience while killing Glacors. I also recommend using Momentum if you're a beginner to Glacors, as it will give you a lot more time to concentrate on avoiding its special attacks and making sure you survive. Using Momentum you will need a little bit of food, as I have tried killing Glacors many times since the updates and the many changes where they've made them slightly more difficult, and now I find that you do need a little bit of food every so often. Not much, but you can pretty much live on Soul Split. Now for your inventory on Momentum. Your inventory will be pretty much identical, the only change being that you will take a couple of extra brews. The reason you need these brews is because your DPS will be slightly lowered, meaning Soul Split will not be able to cover as much health as it used to when using abilities. As for your ability bar, you do not want to have any thresholds or ultimates that you would have used with abilities. This is because thresholds and ultimates obviously lower your adrenaline, while you need to get to maximum to use Momentum. And after you use Momentum, 20 minutes, you will just be able to minimize this and not care about abilities. So basically I just got all the basics on there, just the other ones I had, so that you can use these while killing the Glacor the first time to build up your adrenaline until it's max and you can use Momentum. I'll demonstrate this now. Now moving into building Momentum, you'll want to have the same quick curses as I mentioned with abilities, being Torment and Soul Split, if you're on Prayers, Augury and Range Prayer. So you'll want to use abilities just as before, however not using any threshold abilities or ultimates. So you'll be just literally using any ability you can, as each ability you use will boost your adrenaline bar at a maximum rate. It will just boost if you don't use abilities as well, however it will be much slower, and you want to get it as fast as you can so you can get on with AFKing. So the same method applies. As soon as the minions come out, still you just use the abilities, as I mentioned with the abilities method. So as soon as you ultimate, whack on momentum, and just close the bar, and you don't have to worry about it. Now moving on to 2 kills, you can see a kill here, and I'm killing the Glacor. And I'm doing nothing. I'm literally just AFKing, soul split on, the Titan does nothing. I will talk about Familiar after this. And as you can see, I am doing a lot more damage as I would be with auto attacks if I wasn't using momentum. Using momentum also makes you use random basic abilities every so often, which is also increases your damage output. Again, it is slightly slower, so as the usual method, attract the enduring minion over by luring it with 1 attack. If you're using Titan, set your Titan on the sapping minion, as it cannot damage the enduring minion, and you want to kill the unstable one last. As soon as the enduring one's dead, if the sapping one's dead, move straight onto the unstable, but kill the sapping first. The unstable one should have just exploded, as you've seen me avoid it, and then you can finish it off in generally 1 hit. Sometimes with momentum, you will hit a lot of zeros in a row, and the unstable Glacite might get a second attack with its explosion. You want to be wary of this, and it does get quite annoying sometimes when you're killing them really slow. It's just annoying when you hit a load of zeros, but as you can see, I hit this second form really fast. I hit some big hits. You can see all the big blue hits are the critical hits. So pick up your loot and just move straight on to the next Glacor. Don't have to worry about speed. The only thing you're wasting by not attacking as fast is overload. However, in the previous, with abilities, if you took a while between a kill, your adrenaline might start draining. Every 20 minutes your momentum will run out, and you'll have to repeat the build process as I showed you before. However, this is easy to do, and shouldn't take you more than 1 kill to get. So with this method, if you randomly hit a streak of zeros, or you just generally stop hitting too well, these kills I'm showing you on screen were actually really quite fast from momentum. However, if you do stop hitting, you might require some food, which is why I took the bruise. So as shown here, clearly the same method again, avoid the explosion by walking a couple of steps away. Titan should kill the sapping reasonably quickly in a couple of 2 or 3 specs. You can also use Iron Titan if you haven't got a Steel Titan. So again, once the unstable's dead, just move straight back into the Glacor, no effort about it, reasonably easy method to kill Glacors, and the one I much prefer. I don't mind using abilities, but it does get a bit tedious and a bit boring at times when you're sitting there hitting your keyboard. Now moving on to the final section, that is Familiar. If you are using prayers over curses, such as that you don't have the level for Torment and Soul Split, you definitely want to be using a healing familiar, such as a Unicorn or one of the healing Titans. These should definitely reduce the need for any food, as using a healing familiar should easily heal through any damage that the Glacor does. Obviously using a combat familiar will obviously speed up the kills, particularly the sapping minion. This is what the Titan is generally used for, either being a Steel Titan or an Iron Titan, obviously a Steel Titan being the best, will pretty much kill the sapping one by the time you kill the enduring Glacite, meaning you can move straight onto the unstable and get on with the Glacor as fast as possible. I will show you how to use the Titan now to deal damage to the sapping minion, and use it to its fullest. So when the minions are summoned, you want to attack the enduring to lure it over. Straight away I set my Titan on the sapping and spam the spec. You want to spam the spec as much as you can to obviously try and get it killed by the time you kill the enduring. Now there is one problem currently in the EOC, is that when the Titan is in melee distance, obviously it does its melee attack, it does massively reduce damage. The damage it does is equivalent to what it did in the old combat system, and obviously LP is dramatically increased. So you want to try and make sure that the minions are outside of the melee distance of the Steel Titan. So you'll see that I try to avoid being in melee distance with my Titan to stop this. So there you go, the same again, I set my Titan on the sapping. You don't want to set it on enduring because it will not do any damage on the enduring. It also does damage on the unstable, which is sometimes useful if the unstable manages to get to heal a bit. So as you can see here, it did a lot of damage to the sapping before I even started trying to kill it. Sometimes, most of the time, you will actually kill it before you even kill the enduring. So that is the end of the guide, guys. I really hope this helped you with killing Glacors now in the evolution of combat. Even if this is your first time, there is a lot of information in this guide to show you how to do that. Or even if you're an experienced Glacor killer in the old combat system, there's a lot of changes now obviously in the EOC, and I hope this guide told you how to do them efficiently. If you did find this guide helpful, a rating would definitely be appreciated, as I put a lot of time and effort into this guide. It really did take me quite a while to get all the clips and edit this together. So thanks for watching, guys.